Oh my goodness. I have been a Photoshop user for over 20 years now, and Clip Studio Paint just broke my brain within 5 minutes. So this isn't a beginner review, this isn't even a review. This is a first impressions video as I've been using it now for a little bit over a week. I want to give you guys my insight as to what stands out from a professional digital painter perspective. I just cannot dance around my curiosity with this software any longer. I've heard about it from YouTube, I've heard about it from my students, I've heard about it in various Discords, and it seems really great. So let's check out what is so special about Clip Studio Paint. So this has not been the easiest week for me. When you build up 20 years of muscle memory utilizing a singular sort of software, it's really hard. It's really hard to switch, right? You gotta teach an old dog a new set of tricks here. And so I've had some growing pains to kind of live with this week. But there are some fundamentally very different philosophies that are going on the surface here. Right? Photoshop, of course, is your Swiss Army tool for all sort of creative work. Graphic designers use it, illustrators use it, digital painters use it. My mom may have used it. No, my mom doesn't use it. But it kind of does a little bit of everything. But does that mean it does everything well? No, not necessarily. Clip Studio, on the other hand, is built for artists, particularly digital painters, animation, comics, line work, focused art from the ground up, it seems. And this is where it is very obvious that it starts to excel. Now, despite me fumbling with the UI and trying to juggle the most basic procedure, yes, this painting that I've tried it on a few paintings so far. You can kind of see them. They're from my upcoming landscape course, link below, be launching next year. But I've been messing with a bunch of simple kind of casual landscapes with this week, and they've taken me a little bit longer to do just because I didn't have my muscle memory and my convenient sort of comfort zone of Photoshop. But I'm actually pretty thoroughly impressed overall with what Clip Studio can offer. The brush engine to me is what immediately sort of stands out. You see in Photoshop, I've always liked the fact that you can kind of switch either layer blending modes or brush blending modes specific to the brush. Clip Studio has all that, but it also gives you the option, which I thought was really cool, to set up very specific color blending settings that are aside, from those blending modes. So if you're a traditional sort of painter like me, like I train traditionally, it actually emulates real world sort of traditional media much better. I've joked for years on how digital brush strokes and the way Photoshop handles its brush engine is completely kind of garbage, and it is. I still stand by that. But yeah, Clip Studio does that a bit further. It really seems like it's designed for brush engines in mind. It's a lot more advanced and sophisticated in that way, almost to an overwhelmingly level. There's just so much options in there. But again, some key highlights that I was messing with were like some of the dry media types. You combine that with their paper texture settings. Very, very cool. Again, Photoshop really doesn't have any of that. You have to kind of work around it. There are ways to emulate that, but they don't feel as natural or as fluid, let's say, as in Clip Studio. So they do have better brush tapering, and I found the control of individual brush settings, which you can actually manage very, very well and have pressure sensitivity, really gauged by the brush. Photoshop, it's more universal. Really, really cool. So there are options for very precise level of control for those enthusiasts and professionals that are seeking that. I've also noticed, I've tried, various types of texture brushes with like airbrush and grainy textures. Photoshop will lag pretty good even on my quasi 5-year-old beefy PC, and Clip Studio can run those brushes very, very well. So I was very impressed overall with that. Like, you can make very big brushes. It tends to lag a little bit less. It does have a bit of a vector brush system and setup. I did not have the time or the mental capacity to dive into that, but I did kind of see it tucked away in a few things. So that is something I'm going to definitely kind of check out a little down the line, but I'm not primarily a vector artist, so it's low priority for now. But yeah, as I was saying, you can customize the stabilization and the line quality per brush and not for the whole package. So, and you can save those settings. So I found like you can control by, the line weight based off the speed of your hand, of course by the angle and by the pressure, all very, very impressive. And the part of it that actually caught me off guard was that when you launch the software, like when you click on it on the desktop, it kind of brings you into this more generalized Clip Studio ecosystem, right? You see access to I guess there's a store. I didn't see anything for actually sale. Everything was free from what I saw, but there's like tons of asset, and they call every asset a material. That also confused me for a while. Like, I'm not looking for materials. I'm looking for a brush. And, I was like, I had to get, into their kind of lingo because it is a little bit different. But it was really cool because, that you can get 3D models, patterns, brushes, assets. And if you could think of a digital asset, it's kind of like built into the software, and then you just kind of download it and then install it. I tried that out with a couple different brushes. I thought it was cool. Some of the kind folks in my Discord recommended a few, and I gave those a shot. And yeah, very, very cool. What I couldn't get to work was some of the 3D integration. As someone that does a lot of intense and complicated scenes, I've always used Blender for the 3D side of my work, but I wanted to see what it could do built in, because I'm pretty sure Photoshop used to have 3D, but since then has stopped supporting it and removed it from later versions. So I was really eager to try out the 3D implementation on Clip Studio's 3D side. Now, I didn't have any luck with that because every time I tried to make a new 3D layer or get like an asset dragged in, it locked everything up. I don't know if I did something wrong. Again, I'm open to taking responsibility for this. It certainly could be a user error, but I could not get anything to load in there. So after about 30 minutes of fussing with it, I had to move on. I'll go back when I have time, of course, to try that. If you have any tips on that, let me know below. But yeah, I want to look more into that. Just didn't have time to check that out for this video today. But yeah, they also have kind of pretty sophisticated and advanced rulers and perspective grid options. I think I just skimmed the surface of this. Again, mostly because it was overwhelming and I was having trouble figuring out all the little controls and the handles of it. But I've seen what folks do, and it can make really cool fisheye to 3-point perspective, 2-point perspective sort of scenes and guides. Very, very artist friendly, very consumer friendly, which I thought was just really awesome, despite me not fully taking advantage of all of that yet. But the other cool feature I noticed, though, even with like the perspective grids and the lines and the rulers, is like if you're just drawing, you can your strokes can like really your brush strokes in a smart way can kind of map to those grids to make drawing in a certain perspective a lot more seamless or painless if you have trouble getting straight lines. So really cool. I know I have students as well that take advantage of Clip Studio's animation features. Check out Dot's stuff here. I don't know how she works this magic, but again, if you're like me and fairly in the dark when it comes to Clip Studio, it can animate, and it can animate pretty well from what I've seen. I know some artists absolutely swear by it, so that's another pretty cool thing. But yeah, this software has a lot of features built for the artists, for someone that's drawing, someone that's doing manga, animating, maybe even concept designing. It has, us, it has my people, in mind for this software. And I think that is really fantastic, as Photoshop never really tried to build a good brush engine. It really kind of caters to photographers more so than anything. So yeah, there are some key big differences there overall. My biggest, again, growing pain with Clip Studio is just navigating the workspace, because it has so many options, so many settings. A lot of them are built within menus, within menus. So it literally took me a lot of time this week to kind of figure out some of the most basic procedures. But I've got my workspace, I'm sure as you can kind of see here, set up pretty identical to what I have going on in Photoshop. I just can't beat that muscle memory, so I have to make this transition, as seamless as I can. So what could this software potentially change for me in my day-to-day or in my current workflows? Well, I see myself doing more drawing now in this software, like moving forward. I love how the pencils look. I love the brush engine and the texture sensitivity and how I can control various amounts of correction based off speed and pressure, all these really cool settings. So I'm going to use it more for drawing. I think I'm going to use it more so on the beginning and the early phases of my work, where I can let color blend and mix and build up in a more organic way. So for color work, I just find that the brush engines, the way that they're built, and the cool watercolor features and the way it lets edges bleed, for me, I think it's going to lead to more expressive sort of brush work for the short term here, like just trying things out and playing with the various sort of settings. So again, much more easier when it comes to experimental sort of rendering and stuff like that. I did import some of my old brushes to check out how they behave in Clip Studio, and yeah, they did pretty good and allow me to take advantage of the features exclusive to Clip Studio. So it's like discovering an old friend again. I really enjoyed it. But I do see myself still going back to Photoshop. I do all the final stages there, right? The final composites. I think, any kind of very large sort of files, I can also use it. And when I need to use photo manipulation and integration, I'd also be switching to Photoshop for its sheer sort of volume of options and blending settings, some that I'm still discovering after all these years. But I do see myself utilizing both softwares for the most part going forward. And if anything, I've found a way to have fun, or found another way to have fun with just making some paintings and having fun expressing myself in that sort of way. I still can't get all the way through, of course, the hotkey bindings. I did find a cool little trick where I could literally map the color picker to the C button, where it kind of just pops up on the fly, which, as far as I know in Photoshop, that's not a thing, so it's a really cool way to access and change your colors. I loved that. The brush creation engine seems really powerful, but again, the settings and the lingo are a little bit different, so I'm going to have to get better acquainted with the particulars of that. And yeah, the workspace itself, very convoluted, very heavy, in a similar way that Photoshop is, so I'm going to continue to customize and tweak that and organize all my brushes over here, because I do like how they have some of the category stuff all set up, kind of with like the drawers and all the tools. But yeah, getting more efficient is going to be my biggest sort of struggle with that. But again, guys, have you made the transition yet? Let me know below. I want to know what you guys think about the software. What is your favorite feature? What feature do I have to try that I have not given a chance yet to play with? It is, of course, free, and Photoshop, unfortunately, is on a subscription model. And for the time being, I'm not going to be able to shake that, which I hate giving Adobe my money every single month. But that's how it is for the time being. But yeah, this is a great option. I think it's even going to be better for someone that doesn't have 20 years experience, in this older software that has a lot of net negatives to it. So if you're just starting out and looking to get into digital art, yeah, Clip Studio is probably the way to go. Build your muscle memory in the better software. All right, so I'll catch you guys next time, and have a great week.